What up guys, Gozen here for Anime Uproar, and today we are going to be talking about probably the craziest chapter of Attack on Titan ever. Chapter 112. Stuff is really picking up now and it's absolutely insane. A bunch of you have been asking for an Attack on Titan chapter review, so this video specifically goes out to you guys. If you want to see more videos like this one on the channel, make sure to go beast mode on that like button to let me know. If you haven't subscribed, and ring that magic YouTube bell so future Attack on Titan videos get sent straight to your phone. Lastly, if you love Attack on Titan and want to support content like this at the same time, definitely check out our Attack on Titan Beast Mode shirt at animeuproar.com. Fans of the channel can get 25% off by using the code UPROAR25 at checkout. Anyways, obviously, spoiler alert if you're not caught up, and let's jump right into chapter 112. So we start the chapter with the idea that Zeke has placed his spinal fluid into all that wine. If that's the case, high-ranking officers and others drank it, meaning he can turn them into Titans with a scream. We get a quick flashback showing Zeke's genius. Hanji points out that Zeke told them that Eldians freeze the moment they drink his spinal fluid, so that no one would ever think they've been poisoned by it if that sign never came. As she puts it, the effect of that believable lie is immense. Keep in mind, according to the Attack on Titan databook, Hanji and Zeke are two of the smartest characters in the series, and I look forward to seeing more back and forths between them, but I'd say Zeke definitely has the upper hand as of now. Then we got a hilarious scene that Isayama gave us. Armin, Mikasa, and Gabi are talking, and on the next page we see a figure enter the room in the background, and it's Eren. Isayama, the creator of Attack on Titan, is so funny to me because of scenes like this. Usually you'd expect a moment like this, Eren's sudden reappearance, to take up a full page and be portrayed like a big deal. But Isayama just has him show up in the background unenthusiastically and just stroll on in. Brilliant. Then we cut to Floch, who has multiple armed men with him, and they pull guns at the Survey Corps, which has been losing ground in power for a while already. We then get back to Eren, who is sitting at the table with Mikasa, Armin, and Gabi. Let me know how you guys feel about this, but for me, Titan action is awesome. But what's impressive about Isayama is how he can make 4 characters sitting around a table and talking more interesting than any battle. Maybe it's just me, but this conversation had me on the edge of my seat, and we got so much valuable information while so much emotion was being conveyed. I absolutely think it was situated brilliantly. Right away, before the talking even starts, there's all this pent-up tension. Gabi, the girl who killed Sasha, is there with Eren, the worst of the island dwellers that she has been brainwashed to hate, and the man directly responsible for the death of her friends. Throw in Armin, who has been itching to talk to Eren, and then Mikasa, who we know has always defended Eren and took his side, but even she has begun to wonder what's going on since he seemingly betrayed them all, even though all 3 of them used to be such close friends. It seems like we're finally gonna get answers, since most importantly, we have Eren right there, who seemingly has all of the answers to everything Armin and Mikasa are wondering about, along with us. We can finally hear Eren's side of the story. So, even before the conversation really starts, we have a perfect setup. Eren gives some very interesting information. He says he is free and not being controlled by Zeke. He makes it clear that he is choosing whatever he does with his own free will. Then we have one of the most heartbreaking scenes in Attack on Titan so far, which is saying a lot in a series where we saw the main character's mom get gruesomely eaten before his eyes in the first episode, but I stand by it. Mikasa refuses to accept what Eren is saying and says he's being controlled. Eren does not seem amused, and his blank look is starting to remind me of the look in the eyes of the other Founding Titan users, which kinda makes sense because even if he's not of royal blood, now he has the Founding Titan along with the memories of so many other Titan users in his mind. Anyways, Mikasa tells him that he's not the kind of person who'd involve innocent civilians and children, even if they were on the enemy side. She also tells him that he's cared and thought about her and Armin more than anyone. Pleading with him, she says, "Haven't you?" and reminds him that he saved her from being kidnapped and wrapped a scarf around her that she's been wearing since that day. She thinks he did this all out of his own kindness, and you can see the emotion in her face and how badly she's hanging on his next words. Eren, though, completely denies her narrative. She's trying to talk to him like they're close friends or even family, but he simply says with an emotionless face for Mikasa to keep her hands on the table. In this way, he makes it clear that they're not talking as friends, but talking as possibly hostile enemies. And then, oh my god, look at Mikasa's poor face. She listens and puts her hands back down. I may be more affected than most by Mikasa's pain and reaction here because I think she's best girl, but dear god, I definitely feel for her here. Then Eren admits that he spoke with Zeke brother to brother. This is significant that he's using the word brother because he is situating Zeke as family, while as we just saw, he no longer views Mikasa that way. Then we get some crazy information that Eren heard from Zeke. Eren knows that Armin is seeing Annie, and Eren asks if he's going because of his will or Bertolt's. Armin is nervous and shook, suggesting that Eren is onto something. I say this before, that memories of past Titan users live on in the current Titan user and can even shape their actions, so in a sense, the old Titan user is not dead, but lives on in the current one. And Eren suggests that that theory was correct. He says if memories play a major role in forming who a person is, that means part of you has become Bertolt. Now we're entering Ghost in the Shell territory. Are we more than the sum of our memories? For instance, if you passed on all your memories to a cyborg body and your physical body died, and the cyborg with all your memories could think and act for itself and pick up new memories, have you survived in that cyborg? Can that be considered you? Let me know what you think. I'm fascinated with stuff like this, so I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Anyways, as I previously thought, Eren is suggesting that Bertolt's own love of Annie is amplifying Armin's own emotions for her. Eren says that Bertolt's memories completely changed Armin, and rather than being a man of action, now Armin only wants to talk, and has become, in Eren's words, useless. So Eren tells Armin that he's being controlled by Bertolt, or in other words, the enemy. This is interesting because a little while ago, he said all of his decisions are of his own free will, and yet, he says that Armin, who has way less memories inside of himself than Eren, is not making decisions of his own free will. Clearly there's a problem with this, and if Eren is right about Armin, he has to be more influenced by the memories of previous Titan holders of the Attack Titan, Founding Titan, and Warhammer Titan than he is letting on. Then Eren explains his philosophy. He thinks that there is nothing further removed from freedom than ignorance, so in other words, Eren seeks freedom and he equates that with knowing the truth. Then he drops the big bombshell about the Ackermans. We already knew that the Ackermans are the result of Titan biology or the result of experimenting with the power of the Titans, but Eren gives us more specifics. As Eren points out, the Ackermans maintain a human form but in some cases can manifest the power of Titans, which explains why Mikasa and Levi are so strong. He goes on to say that the Ackerman clan was designed to protect Eldia's king. As a result, the instincts in their blood will activate only when they recognize someone as a host. Then Eren says Mikasa clings to him because of her instincts as an Ackerman, and Mikasa is shocked. He says she obeyed his order to fight back when they were kids, and it was at that point that the instincts hidden inside the Ackerman clan's blood were awakened. Not only did this heighten her physical abilities to an extreme, she was even given experience in battle accumulated by every past Ackerman by way of a path. This is a huge detail that we were not aware of. So, like previous Titan holders pass on their memories to the new one, Ackermans pass on battle experience to each other. So, in theory, every new Ackerman would be stronger than the ones that came before, and they would keep becoming better and better fighters, because they just keep accumulating more and more experience. So even though everyone thought that Mikasa loved Eren, Eren says that she simply tricked herself into believing he was the host she had to protect. She says he's wrong, that it was because it was Eren that she was able to become strong, that it was all because of him, and she's not explicitly saying it, but she's pretty much saying that it was all because of her love for him. And then Eren crushes her emotionally. He says once an Ackerman awakens, they start having headaches, and that this happens out of the true self trying to resist being forced to protect its host. He asks Mikasa if this sounds familiar, and Mikasa's face suggests it does. She is mentally collapsing and she gives a weak no, but Eren is sure of himself and he keeps going. He says the real Mikasa disappeared all that time ago, leaving only an ever-faithful Ackerman slave. Eren says he hates anyone who isn't free. Mikasa looks completely destroyed and Armin is shouting in anger, as he's witnessing how Eren is making Mikasa feel. And man, honestly, I would totally do the same if I were witnessing this in Armin's place. Then Eren puts the final nail in the coffin when he says that he's always hated Mikasa, and we see actual tears in the best girl's eyes. Armin can't stand it anymore. Took you long enough, bro, and jumps at Eren, only to be stopped by Mikasa. Eren suggests that this is evidence that she is only living in accordance to her Ackerman blood, and he says that's all she is, and she continues to cry. This time, Armin lands a punch, but Mikasa, interestingly enough, doesn't stop him. Then Eren tells Armin as they fight that they've never fought before because Armin couldn't even put up a fight against him, and Eren proceeds to beat his former best friend up. Mikasa is still crying, saying stop. Eren does stop and reaffirms that they'll tell him where Zeke is. Armin says, "Is that the freedom you wanted, the freedom to hurt Mikasa? Who's the real slave?" he asks him, angering Eren. So before we were saying that these three were drifting apart, and that definitely culminated in this chapter where Eren said he always hated Mikasa and beat up Armin. Let me know what you guys think. Do you believe that Eren always hated Mikasa? Or do you think he's actually hurt because he thought she loved him and cared about him and was upset to find out that it was all fake and only the result of Ackerman blood, and that frustration explains his current behavior towards her? Do you think Mikasa's feelings were not her own all this time? Do you think that Zeke purposely told Eren wrong information to manipulate him and turn him against his friends? I mean, these are all possibilities, but let me know what you think. Keep in mind that Mikasa is part Japanese too, and so is it believable to think that all of who she is just the result of her Ackerman blood? I don't want to think so personally, but she's definitely going to be affected by an identity crisis in the chapters to come, as will Armin, who now knows that he could be significantly affected by Bertolt's memories. Now, if that wasn't enough insanity for one chapter, we then get Levi and Zeke action. Levi decides that he is going to kill Zeke no matter what. Then Zeke screams, and all of the soldiers that are there to stop him if he activates his Beast Titan ability are themselves turned into Titans, meaning they had already consumed his spinal fluid, and the fear about the wine was in fact true, and that Zeke did lie when he said people freeze up right after consuming his bodily fluid. And that is it for this insane chapter. Not a lot of physical action per se, but I'd say it was nonetheless one of the most intense, emotional, and interesting ones. We know that Zeke did lie before, and that he is willing to lie, so the question is, did he lie to Eren, or does he also view Eren first and foremost as a brother rather than as a pawn in his plan? We'll have to wait and see, but we should definitely see Zeke enter his Beast Titan form in the next chapter and possibly even fight with Levi. If you watched this far in the video, drop a hashtag beast mode in the description to let me know, and remember that you can support this channel and get awesome Attack on Titan merch at the same time at animeuproar.com. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, go beast mode on that like button and go Ackerman mode on that subscribe button and ring that magic YouTube bell to keep up to date. And until next time, see you, Space Cowboy.